That's a negative commandment. That's right. Don't murder. What? Give me a positive commandment that we do on Purim. What's a din deoraita that we do on Purim? To give tzedakah. Very good. Din deoraita. Somebody else said here to pray. We put on tefillin. Of course, we have to put on tefillin. It's a din deoraita. Mitzvat aseh. Mitzvat aseh. And to the mitzvot lo ta'aseh. Which mitzvot lo ta'aseh apply on Purim? Which mitzvot lo ta'aseh apply on Purim? Well, which mitzvot lo ta'aseh apply every day?
Don't steal.
Don't steal. You can't steal on Purim either. You can't eat not kosher on Purim either. You can't speak Lashon Hara on Purim either. You have to be careful. You want to do the mitzvah derabanan of drinking wine on Purim.
Don't drink.
But if you drink too much, maybe you'll violate the din deoraita of stealing or embarrassing your friend.
Fornication.
Yeah, that could lead you to terrible things. It could be so. If you're afraid that you're going to violate a biblical command, should you go ahead and do the rabbinic law? No, you're not allowed to. You drink a little bit. You do drink a little bit. You don't drink so much. We have to be careful. If you want to, now this is a question. Do you know there's a custom to dress up on Purim, right? One of the best costumes that a man like us that have beards, one of the best costumes we can do is to dress up like a woman. We put on a dress. Ha ha! Isn't that so funny? A woman with a dress, with a woman with a beard.
No.
Is that allowed or not allowed?
According to the
Ah, there's a biblical law that a man is not allowed to wear women's clothing and a woman's not allowed to wear men's clothing. You know what's interesting? You're absolutely right. It should be forbidden because we don't override biblical mitzvot. There are some communities, some customs. Number 6. It's written down in traditions that in these communities, on Purim, the rabbis allowed them to dress, the men to dress like women and the women to dress like men. Very strange. There's discussions about it. There's entire books written about this. What a strange thing. How can a custom override a biblical law? So we have to interpret, we have to come up with a chidush. Thank you. I was looking for that word. One of the chidushim is, why does the Torah say a man should not wear a woman's clothes? Because a man trying to be a woman, he's going to try to sleep with women. He's going to sneak into the women's locker room and maybe do sexual impropriety. But if the context is, we're going to read the Megillah and I'm trying to make a joke and be happy and make merry, so then maybe the Torah law doesn't apply to that kind of wearing the opposite clothing. So this is a chidush. The chidushim sometimes come together with the customs. Some rabbis, until today, there's different rabbis. Some communities, they say, forbidden. Even on Purim. It's a Torah law. Other communities, the rabbis there justify it, and they say have a chidush. In the legal terminology, it's only prohibited in this context or that context, but not dressing up for Purim. It doesn't qualify as prohibited, and you're allowed to do that custom. It's interesting. You'll see some people in yeshiva probably dressed like a woman. I don't think anybody's going to take them outside and stone them. Nobody's going to say that they're violating the halakha. Because there is some communities in which it was acceptable. Although it is strange. It is strange. In general, the custom cannot override a biblical prohibition. Yeah.
But what about a woman wearing pants? Like also regular days. Like, I don't like it, but we have like woman pants. Like.
So this is a halachic discussion. This is a halachic discussion. It's a fascinating law in the Torah which says that a woman cannot dress up like a man. What is pants? So some communities until today, they say a woman's never allowed to wear pants because that's man's dress. Women wear skirts or dresses and men wear pants. However, since it depends on the community custom, how do you define what is women's dress and what is men's dress? And there are some communities in ancient times, men wore dresses. Right? Right? The robes, of course. So what, a man can't wear? So we see that clothing changes over time. So some rabbis say, well, nowadays, many women wear pants all the time. Like Eitan said, there's some pants designed specially for women. They have a different shape, they have a different color. You go to the store, there's women's pants and there's men's pants. So for a woman today to wear pants is not violating the Torah law. It's not considered to be wearing men's clothing. It's women's clothing. And so many rabbis say it's allowed.
Because,
Yeah.
Because also like for men wear tight jeans.
Interesting.
But also interesting.
It depends on the custom of the community, right? If it's only women wearing those kind of clothes and then men do it, it's a problem. But if all of a sudden the fashions change and all the men are wearing tight leotards or whatever they're called, tights, then if men do that, then you're acting like men. You're not acting like women.
Because like it's crazy, like at the time of Napoleon, it was men wearing wigs and heels.
That's heels.
Men were wearing heels.
Well, because he was short. Napoleon, so maybe he started the custom.
But also the other king from the sunflower king from France. You all these pictures with their white, and he's always there high heels on. They have no flat shoes.
Not only wigs, also makeup.
Yeah, makeup. Yeah, that's
Right?
Also makeup used to.
Men used to put a lot of makeup on. A lot of it was essentially like deodorants. They didn't shower very much. So it was a way to get rid of the bad smells. But also they thought it was pretty. But it's become less and less that men wear makeup. Now it's coming back. So you're going to see lots of men on Purim putting on makeup, dressing up, maybe like a clown or like a lion. Or is that allowed or not allowed? Why?
That's funny.
It's not women's clothing.
No,
it's not. It's not. They're not trying to be women.
It's for fun.
It's for, yeah.
But I also heard a long time ago also that the Torah say that the woman not is allowed to wear men's clothes. It's also talk differently about army suit in that time. Is that true?
Sure. There's a discussion until today amongst the poskim. Can a woman carry a gun? People say a gun. That's traditionally a men's clothing. Right? When you wear a gun around you, or you used to have a sword. Can a woman wear a sword? It was maybe considered men's clothing. Now, obviously, we have the IDF has so many women with guns who protect their lives. I think it's become quite acceptable. That's right. Right. This is an interesting chidush. It's a combination of a chidush in law, in halacha, but really it depends on this law that we're mentioning. Depends on the custom of how men dress and how women dress, and is it going to be mixing or not? So, very interesting. Okay, so you guys are becoming rabbis already. If you know this page, you know how to have the discussion, right? So, what other rabbinic mitzvot are there on Purim? All the mitzvot of Purim are rabbinic, right? But you have to remember when you're doing the rabbinic mitzvot, not to violate and not to forget the biblical mitzvot. You have to put on tefillin, tzitzit. You have to pray. You have to not speak lashon hara. You can't say, "Oh, today's Purim. I'm doing rabbinic mitzvot. Let's have a cheeseburger." Right? That's a lo taseh. You're not allowed to mix meat and milk. That applies. You know, which are better, the positive mitzvot or the negative mitzvot? Which do you like better, Gabriel? What do you say? You're the positive, why? Yeah.
I like
What do you
both.
think? You like both, why?
Because of the negative, your life getting better. Because some things you don't do. You're not allowed to do this, you don't do it.
And that makes your life better?
Yes.
Huh? What do you say, Gabriel?
No, yeah, all, but mostly positive because it's something you can do.
Something you can do.
But the negative is like don't.
Don't.
No,
Okay.
but they're both like good for you.
Okay, I hear. Good, yeah.
We say like it's like a battery, positive and negative.
Yeah, fair. You want the current. The godliness to flow within you. You need to have positive and negative. Very good.
But sometimes, when you're young, you put the battery on the wrong side,
It doesn't work.
You have to do the wrong.
That's right. The positive and the negative. Nice. You just made a mashal. Right? What's a mashal? A parable, right? Yes. You made a parable. But you're speaking agadah more so than halacha, right?
No, halacha.
I want to say a little different than you. I like the negative commandments. You know why?
Is that the damage is more greater than you?
No, I like them because I'm lazy. I'm sitting here in my chair. I'm fulfilling all the mitzvot. I'm not sleeping with my neighbor's wife. I hope not saying lashon hara. I'm not stealing. I'm not murdering. I'm doing all the mitzvot without even lifting a finger. It's great. Isn't that the best? I can fulfill all the mitzvot without doing anything. I'm lazy.
No, it's a little bit like this. Because you also need to do the positive.
That's not the same thing, though. Let's talk about the last line, line number 7. Line number 7 says the ideal performance and the acceptable, or the minimal fulfillment. There's 2 words, we've been using them all year, but I realized that we didn't have them on our. It's a major feature. Whenever we speak about doing the mitzvot, there's the best way to do them, and then there's a way which is still kosher, but it's not ideal. Bidi eved, some people say bidi avad. Technically, grammar of Aramaic, bidi avad is more correct. But it's very popular that people say bidi eved. Avad means to do. Avad is a verb in Aramaic which means to do. So bidi avad is when it's done already. So let's say you wanted to fulfill the mitzvah of wearing tzitzit. Okay? And you wear tzitzit, and some of the tzitzit are torn off. The tzitzit is supposed to have 8 strings, and you only have 7. One of them got cut off. So the law says, the halacha says that bidi eved, after the fact, if you did it that way, if you after the day you looked at, you saw your tzitzit, you say, oh, one of them got cut off, it's still kosher. You fulfilled the mitzvah. Is that lechatchila? It's lechatchila. Is that the ideal thing? Ideally, how many strings do you have to have on your tzitzit? 8 strings of the tzitzit. So it's not lechatchila that you should have torn tzitzit. But there are some ways in which the tzitzit are torn and they're still kosher. Bidi eved or bidi avad, after the fact, literally, bidi avad, when you did it, bidi after the fact, it's acceptable. You fulfill the mitzvah. Of course, we try to do the mitzvot in the best way possible. Lechatchila. The lechatchila performance. Now it gets complicated. Because sometimes b'di'evid can turn into lechatchila. What did we speak about on Purim? That it's a mitzvah to drink, to get intoxicated, right? How much do you have to get intoxicated? Ad lo yada. So you cannot distinguish between Baruch Haman, I did it already. Baruch Mordechai and Arur Haman. I mixed it up. I always mix things up, so I just have to drink a little bit. But some people say that the ideal thing is you should get so drunk that you don't know the difference. You lose your mind totally. And you don't know your right from your left. You can't distinguish between Haman and Mordechai. What's the problem? If you drink that much, maybe you'll see someone and you'll punch him in the face. Some people get violent when they get drunk, right? Maybe you'll be vomiting, throwing up in public. And that's disgusting. You're not allowed to do that. So for you, if you know yourself that that's what's going to happen, what's the ideal way to fulfill the mitzvah? B'di'evet, it's only b'di'evet to drink a little bit and to take a nap. But for you, that's your lechatchila. That's your ideal performance. Because for you, the ideal way to perform the law is in a way which is not going to violate any of the other laws. So sometimes the b'di'evet for you can become the lechatchila. And the lechatchila, the ideal performance, the lechatchila that you get all drunk, that's not really good. Maybe it's only kosher b'di'evet. It's only the second level. The less than ideal performance. So you see that this can really depend on the situation. Many times. We perform the halacha only on the b'di'evet level because of other considerations. Lechatchila, let me give you an example. Lechatchila, some people say, lechatchila we should be studying Torah all day long, every second of the day. But I can't do that because I have to go to work and I have to make money. So it b'di'evet situation that I have to eat, that I have to make parnasah. So I study only an hour a day or 2 hours a day. That's b'di'evet situation which is less than ideal. Other people say the ideal situation is that you should partially work and partially study. Maybe that's the lechatchila situation.
But if for someone like you have like two guys, they do the same mitzvot in different ways, but for him is it b'di'evet.
Exactly.
But for him is it lechatchila.
Exactly, precisely. Very good, Eitan. That's right.
It depends on each person.
That's right, absolutely. Each person in each situation. Let's think of another example of lechatchila and b'di'evet. Let's say today we are supposed to bring korban tamid. Can we do that? Can we bring an offering?
No.
We are in a situation of b'di'evet. The situation itself, sometimes the situation itself can be called not the ideal situation. Ideally, we should have a temple.
Yeah.
We're not in a lechatchila world. So those terms are used. All right. Turn the page over. And you see I added a few things. I added in Purim and Chanukah like you asked me to. I added in also another rabbinic holiday.
Yes.
Who can see which one it is?
Tishba.
Tisha B'Av. It's in period 4.
And also, she knew one also.
What do you have before Tisha B'Av? What do you have after Tisha B'Av?
Great revolt.
And after it?
About 12 revolt.
Right. There was a few revolts against the Romans. The Great Revolt, what year was that in?
In 70.
Exactly. It brought about the destruction of the temple, 66 to 70. Exactly. And Bar Kokhba Revolt, what year was that?
248 or something?
No, I think it was 135. 136. 136. Bar Kokhba Revolt. There were a few times the Jews, you couldn't put them down. The truth is there was a third revolt, but it's not really so well known, so I didn't put it on their page. What else did I add here?
Also in 7?
What did I say in 7?
I don't know.
No, I didn't add anything.
British, France.
Well, yeah, that's who ruled Israel after the Turkish Empire. Right, the Middle East was divided up between the British and the French. After
Exiles, too.
number two. That's right. There were two exiles. What exiles were there?
The Exodus in number 1.
The
Right. Exodus means to leave Egypt. That's not exile. In number two, Gabriel, what the exiles were there?
The Babylonian and the Assyrian.
Excellent. That's right. Which came first?
The Assyrian.
That's right. And how many tribes were exiled?
30.
Well, the kingdom of Israel consisted of how many tribes?
12.
10.
10.
The 10 tribes. The 10 tribes, because the other two were in the kingdom of Judah. And who was with Judah? Benjamin, right. Good. So that's why I wrote in the exiles, right? That's the Second Temple period. They came back from the exile, and they started to rebuild the temple. And then what happened? That's it. Haman tried to kill us, and we were saved. We have the Purim story. The beginning of the Second Temple period. Later on, we had another problem with the Greeks, and that's the Hanukkah story. Good. What else did I add? You've already seen the rest, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're ready.
I have a question
Yes,
about
question.
Purim, about today.
Yeah, please.
Because this afternoon I go home, and then tonight the Megillah. But when I need to break the fast, after or before the Megillah?
Good question.
Because the Arvit starts as 6.4, and after Arvit is Megillah. But the fast is until Arvit, right?
Exactly. The fast is until the nightfall. So technically the fast is finished at 6:04. Most people, right away, when the fast is over, we daven Arvit and we read the Megillah. We don't even have a chance to eat. You're really not supposed to eat before you do any mitzvah, because maybe you'll eat and drink and you'll forget to do the mitzvah. So you have to be ready. So usually we go straight from the fast into the tefillah and into the Megillah. And only after the Megillah, then we can eat. But some people who are weak or dehydrated, not feeling well, technically, the minute nightfall comes, you can drink and eat. Some synagogues, they give out food and drink at the Megillah or before the Megillah because people are so hungry. And it's allowed. The only thing is you're not allowed to have a full meal, because a full meal might lead you to get drunk and forget about the mitzvot. You're not allowed to have a full meal before you do the mitzvah of reading the Megillah. But you are technically allowed to eat after it gets dark.
Okay.
But the custom is most people are healthy and they can wait an extra half hour.
Megillah is not that long, right? Only 10 chapters.
Yeah, but it depends on the community.
Yeah.
So when it starts.
Haman. They make so much noise, they have to wait so long. It could take an hour to read the Megillah, not half an hour.
And it can start at like 9.
You can read the Megillah later also. If you want to have, you just can't have a full meal before you read the Megillah. It's a mitzvah. So okay, good question. Okay.
Another test?
You know what? You don't have time for this. You don't want to test. It's important. I have a game. Okay. Everybody choose a card. Pass them around. Choose one or two cards. Choose two. Oh. Choose two cards.
We can look, right?
You can look at them, yes.
Magic.
Okay, now look at your cards. Thank you. And try to understand what they say. It's all Hebrew, that's why I was a little hesitant to give it to you. But there are pictures. There are pictures, so see if you can understand the Hebrew. There are nekudot. From the same series. But the words are different. The words are different.
Because I see a picture, I see a word, the picture don't connect with it in my
It must. Maybe
I don't know the word.
Okay, so let's go look at them and say, let's start with you, Yisrael. What are the words? So the category, show everybody your cards. Show everybody, Yisrael, show everybody your cards. 1 second, we're doing one at a time. We're doing Yisrael now. It says v'nahafochu. Nahafochu means reversed. It got turned over on its head. And you have 4 examples now you have 2 of those examples of how things got reversed. So the picture is the same for all 4. But the examples, what it says is, one says, the ring of the king was taken from Haman and given to Mordechai. And the other example is that the month of Adar, which was supposed to be a month of destruction and sadness, turned into a month of joy. So that's your cards, Israel. That they're both in the category of things turning around. Nahafochu. Things get reversed. Okay? Michael, show us your cards. Okay, one at a time. Show us the red one. Okay, what does it say on top?
It says
Hechag. Ma'achalei Hechag means the foods of the holiday. So what are the foods of the holiday? Which one do you have?
I see the word of cholim.
Show me. Fulim. Ful is a type of bean. Full beans. There's a custom to eat beans. Why is there a custom to eat beans on Purim? They say that in the kingdom of Persia there were Jews. One Jew we speak about now, who was in the palace of the king. Who was that? Esther. What did she eat?
Beans.
Because she had to eat kosher. She couldn't have any of the meat. She couldn't have anything else to eat, so she ate beans. She asked them, who else was in the Persian kingdom and asked to get special food of beans? Daniel and
his
the three boys. Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Otherwise, so that's one. I have another card?
Yes, I have another card that says...
What does it say on it, on top?
The
The category is Shirei HaChag, the songs of the holiday. And which song do you have?
Shir
Shir HaMasecha. I don't know that one. Masecha means mask. There's a song about the mask. Apparently it's a children's song. I don't know. Good. Gabriel, show us your cards. What's the category? What's it say on top? Which means the foods of the festival. And which food do you have? Znei Haman. What are they called in Yiddish? Haman Tashen. Actually, I think the origin, it's funny. Is this a mitzvah d'oraita to eat these cookies? Is it a mitzvah d'Rabbanan to eat these cookies?
No.
What is it? It's a custom. Everywhere? Not everywhere. In some communities they have this custom. I believe the custom started in Ashkenaz. What's Ashkenaz? Germany. Do you know which flowers are in season now? Tulips. What else? The poppies. And poppy seed is a very popular filling for the Hamantaschen. And you know how to say poppies in Yiddish? Man. Man. So maybe the cookies were called Man Taschen, and they said, oh, it's Purim, it's in season, we'll call them Haman Taschen, and then it'll be a food for the Purim holiday. But I don't know, it became very popular. Now we put chocolate inside, and all sorts of yummy things, much yummier than poppies, if you ask me. But that's Haman Taschen, yeah.
But is there a tradition or some story that talks about the ears of Haman? That they couldn't.
Not so much.
Or just because of what you
Not
just
so.
said,
I don't know. Maybe there's other reasons, but I don't know of any. It's a later custom.
Because I was always like, why you? I was feel like, hey, you have Haman.
In Hebrew, they call them not Hamantash, they call them Oznei Haman, ears of Haman. Why? I think because they look like an ear, because they're triangular. Our ears are sometimes like that shape.
Why the ears of Haman? Because they're like, oh, Haman's the bad guy. Not to do nothing.
I don't know why. It's just a custom, and these customs are beautiful. We need to have foods, special foods. Yalla. What's the other one, Gabriel? Good, excellent. That's right. One of the features of the Megillah is that the name of God does not appear there. Very good. Okay, Eitan, what are your cards?
Demuyot mitoch ha-Megillah.
Demuyot means characters from the Megillah. Which do you have?
Begetan v'Taresh.
So who are Bigtan and Teresh? Names of two guys.
Mordechai ha-Yehudi.
No. Who was Bigtan and Teresh? You have to know. The two guards who wanted to kill Achashverosh, their names were Bigtan and Teresh. Very good. There's other characters in other cards over here, but you don't have them. Do you have another card, Eitan?
Yes. Matanot levayanim.
Okay, that's the category.
B'zchut ha-mitzvah zo gam ha'ani yoshmach b'Purim.
That's what we talked about yesterday in the shir about relationships. We said one of the reasons for Matanot Evyonim is so that even the poor people can have a big meal on Purim because they'll have money for the big meal. So we give to everybody because we don't want to separate the poor from the rich. That was one of the reasons we said for Matanot Evyonim. Binyamin, what are your cards? Okay, the first card also says Matanot LaEvyonim. But what does this say here? Yotzim Yedei Chova B'netinat Kesef O Ochel. You fulfill the mitzvah by giving money or food. And what's the other card you have? This says on top, Minhagei Achag, the customs, and it's to strike to hit Haman HaRasha. Who's Haman HaRasha? Well, we hit him when we hear his name. We hear the name. That's a custom. You don't have to. If you listen to the Megillah, you don't have to make noise. It's a custom.
I found custom that follow that say only the beginning and the last of
Nice. It makes it much quicker.
But, so you cannot hear
but more boring.
Yeah.
Okay. So Purim Sameach. Purim Sameach. You're going home. You're going to celebrate tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. And who else has Purim tonight? I do. You, Gavriel, why? Where are you going?
I'm going with friends to Rabbi.
Ah.
And I could stay there, but I'm coming back, and then I'm going back.
Complicated. Okay. Good. Do I have everybody's cards?
You can take this one?
Yes, sure.
It's the updated version.
The
Updated version.
updated version. It is the most updated version, correct. And the opposite side is brand new. You have a few new lines here in the features. The Chatchila, the Eved.
The 6. Yes, 6.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi. Purim Sameach.
Purim Sameach. Purim Sameach.
Yes, Raf. You remember one time I was asking, there is some song about Shalom Aleichem, a different Tikkun, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, which is it?
I remember it now.
What is it?
It's like Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalom.
Malachei
I like this one.
It's nice. It is nice. See, you have to stop this.